about we call it a go?
That's a good call.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Hey, hello, everyone. Wanted to welcome you to the Oregon Valley Football Alliance Club Annual General Membership Meeting. My name is Jason Hauer. I'm actually the vice president of our board. Normally, this meeting would be hosted by our president, Jen Duringer, but she is on work travel actually over in Europe. She offered to host this, and I said, it's going to be 3 a.m. What? You're crazy. So you got me tonight instead. I have a couple things I want to touch on, but the majority of this meeting is going to be led by our director of coaching, Blake Lamy, our director of operations, Bryce Burton. Meeting is recorded. Bryce will get a link to that recording up on our website, and we'll send it out to membership in case you get sucked away, in case you're busy cooking dinner, or in case you couldn't join us. So I just wanted to open with a couple comments from both Jen and myself. We want to start off by thanking the families in our club, our membership in our club. Clearly we do this with you guys because we love this soccer community. So we just want to thank you for your participation, for giving us some of your time tonight, and for giving us so much of your time during the weeks and months of our season. Also wanted to make sure that the board had an opportunity to extend our thanks to the coaches and staff. I think most of our coaches are actually on a field tonight. 6 p.m. on a Monday is one of our more busy training evenings. So unfortunately, they maybe aren't here tonight to hear our appreciation, but I know that we all try to share it as the season goes on. And so I just will hope you guys would give them that little bit of thanks when you see them next. And it kind of goes without saying that there's no way we pull this off without our staff. So both Blake and Bryce, really appreciative that you're here to guide us through this tonight. And I wanted to take just another minute or so to acknowledge kind of some of our key partners and grants and sponsors that help keep this club going. So I'd like to call out the YMCA, G3, Greater Albany Public Schools, Ashbrook Independent Schools, Corvallis Sports Park, Jackson Street Youth Services, Tercey Soccer, and Adidas. These are kind of this group is kind of like a core list of organizations that really help us function like pretty much day to day. Everything from equipment, uniforms, to some grant funding to facilities. Like without this little group of organizations, it'd be a much more challenging job to deliver soccer here. I wanted to call it 3 big grants that we've received in the past year. First, from the Ralph Hull Foundation. It's an organization in our community in the Mid-Willamette Valley, and through their support now for the past at least 2, maybe 3 years, we've been able to kind of strengthen our scholarships. We've been able to improve our coach education opportunities, and we've gotten some great equipment additions. Wanted to call out the Oregon Youth Soccer Association. They've given us a couple grants recently that have allowed us to expand our reach into kind of some of the smaller communities around the valley, specifically support for our Kicks for Kids events. And then we've been able to use the Albany Collaborative Tourism Program over the past couple of years to support our 3v3 tournament and to get goals and facilities that we use in our trainings at Albany, at the YMCA at Albany. Okay, I'm almost done. Got one more group, and these are kind of our key corporate sponsors who provide support for not only our club, our jerseys, our ongoing activities, but also some of the special stuff we do, like the 3v3 tournament that's coming up. So I'd like to acknowledge Paventi Brown, Knife River, Girding Builders, Peak Oral Surgery, Christensen Building, Healing Motion Physical Therapy, Gallatin Keller Williams, Molly Slack DDS, and Willamette Valley Pediatrics. So again, we don't get many opportunities to kind of share this this really great group of organizations that helps us deliver our soccer experience in the community. So wanted to make sure that they get the recognition they deserve. Lastly, before I hand it over to Blake and Bryce, we've added 2 new board members recently. We have been joined in the past month by Peggy Curtis and Liz Perotti. So I wanted to give them a chance to turn on their cameras, wave, say hello if they would like to, but really just acknowledge and thank them for joining our leadership. Our board is now up to, I think, 6 members. We're a pretty small group, and we certainly are open to getting more people involved. So, Liz, thanks for turning on your camera. Say a quick hello.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here, and I'm looking forward to the program tonight.
All right, thanks. Peggy, are you on? No worries. She's probably taking a kid to practice. All right, so with that, I'm gonna turn this over to Blake and Bryce. Do you guys want to you want to try and hold questions till the end? Are you okay if people put stuff in the chat or raise their hands, and we can try and keep an eye on it while they go?
Yeah, let's do it along the way, because if we're on a topic that needs some clarification or whatever, let's do that. And Jason, I don't know if we're talking, could you kind of help us with that too?
Yeah. So folks, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat, the in-call messages feature on the lower right of the screen. It looks like a chat bubble, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.
All right, looks like I'm up. First of all, again, thanks for coming to this. I know everybody has a lot going on in their lives, and it's good for us to kind of do a little bit of a review of the previous year. We're still kind of on it, and then looking forward to the next year, and just kind of like refocusing on what we've done and what we're trying to do going forward. So again, thanks for being here. Season review, couple things. I think we did a pretty good job of getting practice times and try to outreach with the Corvallis school districts, as well as we're at Ashbrook for this spring. And so we're trying to get more practice facilities for us so that we can spread out a little bit. The previous year, we had 8 to 10 teams on the Y, and we've tried to keep it at 6 to 7, which has helped the spacing out a little bit. So that's been pretty wonderful. As far as a review, as far as seasons and how the teams have done, for the most part, our Navy teams have done a pretty good job throughout the year as far as being in the gold groups, which we haven't had in the past. Our white teams have had some hit and misses, but for the most part, they've done fairly well. They've gone up a level often with the teams that they're playing against, so that's been good. We feel like we've done a pretty good job of supporting our coaches. We're still working on getting better at that. We're going to be going on our 4th month this month of doing monthly coaches meetings, partly just to get our group together and chat and talk and get to know each other a little bit better than just seeing each other going by on the field. So also talking about things I'll get into a little bit later, but talking about coaching ideas, sharing situations, asking questions of one another, trying to basically learn off one another, which has been really good thing for all of us. I feel like we feel more supported and also are gathering information from each other, which is huge. So there's a lot of experience in that group, and I've been doing this a long time. You can tell with my white hair now, but this coaching group is just a bunch of really nice people, and they really care about your kids, and they have your kids' best interest in mind as far as just human beings, and trying to do a good job by them. And so really impressed with that. And I think the other piece that they're trying to do is help your kids become better soccer players. But also I think the piece that's pretty dear to my heart is is trying to help them develop as young adults and becoming young adults and navigating those things that go on in all of our lives with, cell phones and social media and lots of activities that they do, and trying to be a stable place for them to land and have a good experience. So that's pretty dear to our heart, and something that we as a staff talk about all the time. How can we support kids and coaches to make that a better experience for everybody? And for the most part, I think we do a pretty good job with that. I think there's always going to be outliers that either we don't know about or that we're working on trying to improve those relationships and things. But for the most part, I think our coaches are fantastic with that. So I can't thank them enough for all the time and energy, and it's a lot of time. They put a lot of time into it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So as far as the boys season goes, our Navy teams, like I said, I think we had a very, very good weekend. For those that are interested in State Cup, we had a lot of teams win this weekend, both on the girls' side and boys' side. So the boys' side, I think, had quite a few wins, and that's something that shows the improvement within our program. Our kids are getting better, teams are getting better, and Chris has done a really good job of learning how to become a boys technical director, and he's still growing in that piece, but he's really done a good job of supporting the coaches and supporting the players, and communication has been really solid. So we're really excited about the direction that's going in. Of course, there's pockets of teams that may not have as good experience and things, and we're always aware of those and trying to work through those issues with either parents, players, or teams. And we don't mind feedback, so let us know. And you'll have an opportunity at the end of this year. We do this every I think we did one in the fall, and we'll do one at the end of this year for coach evaluations, club evaluations, and we take those very seriously and give those feedbacks to the coaches. And of course, those things can be anonymous or not, but for us, as far as the DOCs and the technical directors, we're going to take that information from you, and we're not going to share who it is. So please make sure to give us those evaluations. Those would be great. 2005, 2026 projections. We're anticipating to be about the same size as last year. We're going to continue to try to grow, but grow in a healthy manner, so that we make sure we have enough quality coaches and that we have enough field situations so that we have good training. The other pieces that we're really looking for is Navy teams traveling a bit more, trying to get our white teams to be able to go to some tournaments and support them a little bit better than we did this year. I think the previous year we did a really good job of supporting our white teams, and this year is a little bit more difficult with travel and timing and sizes of teams and things. But the white and the burgundy teams, I thought we had really good coaches on those teams, and they did a good job for the most part. So pretty happy about that situation. Again, I don't remember a time for these 15 years or so that we've had so many teams in the gold divisions and in Premier League. So pretty good. The other projection pieces that are interesting to know is that the Central Valley League is going to continue to be something that happens, but we're going to see less teams out of Eugene and Salem. So that's going to create a little bit more travel for us. For our white teams, if they're not good enough to be in the Premier Silver, which we may have some that might be able to do that. So that's going to create a little bit more hardship, but we're working with the DOCs in those areas to figure out how to do travel a little bit better, to communicate a little bit better on those pieces. But the Central Valley League still will exist, and we're not that piece still existing. Any questions about the boys real quick before we get on the girls program? Okay. The girls side, we had quite a bit of a change in that for the high school girls, at least, we were doing DPL the previous year, which meant that we weren't really playing in OYSA leagues. And so we've switched back to OYSA leagues this year. And I think it's been a real good thing for the girls teams. I think it's given us more continuity, day-to-day or week-to-week feedback when we play games, a chance to really work towards things rather than just 2 or 3 tournaments that Then we only get I think we probably had 8 to 10 games last year out of that. And this year we're going to get a lot more. We're still traveling, but we're traveling to Pac Northwest, and the 9 girls went to Vegas and had a really good experience. So I think overall that for the high school program, the girls, that was a really positive piece. And what's really great was the 2010s this weekend won a state cup game, and that was fantastic. And the 06 girls played and won as well. So our girls' sides in the high school ages are doing or just having a little bit better season as far as just the wins and losses, but also just the competitiveness. So really excited about the direction that we're going in, and I've made, but the club's also made decisions to put really good coaches on our girls' side. We've had good coaches in the past, but really trying to, we've asked Kevin to come over and work with Kevin Brannigan to work with the 2010 girls. That's been pretty fantastic. And Sabree Hilton's come from coaching the club for a long time, came back and is helping out with the 2011 girls, which provides a lot of stability and knowledge. And so we're feeling very positive about that. And I've had a chance to get back into the girls' side of the club and had a really good time at the 09 girls. So very excited about the direction that the program's going in as far as the girls' side. The younger girls, we are struggling a little bit with numbers. I don't have the data in front of you, but I don't know if everybody's aware about the Corvallis School District issues. It's definitely affecting our club. Right now, I think there's about 650 to 680 kids as seniors this year in the Corvallis School District, and it goes down at a pretty steep angle. Where I think Sal's on the call, but he can probably clear this up for you if I got it wrong. But I think there's about 360 kids in the entire kindergarten, first grade, second grade in the city of Corvallis. So our numbers in our younger girls program is suffering partly because of population and also just travel and other things like that. So we're still working hard on that. It's a focus. Dave Ellis has done a fantastic job with the 2013, 2012 girls team, and they've had some very good success. So we're very happy about that too. And we have a new coaches, or Jasmine's done a good job with the 14s, and we're excited to continue to work with the developmental girls part. We're also have applied for a SHE grant. Jen, our president, spent a lot of time doing this, and she's connected with the Oregon State Women's Program. And if we're successful in getting the SHE grant, we'll probably be able to have 3 to 5 OSU women players and possibly a few coaches come in and help coach us throughout the winter and spring of next year with our girls program. And those players will be working towards getting some D license and D licensing and other licensing. So pretty good opportunity for our club, pretty good opportunity for soccer and the girls program in town. So, and Jen did a great job with that, and very excited about that piece. Any questions with the girls pieces? Okay. Bryce, we have another slide real quick. So the other thing that we've been really working on, Chris Paris spent a lot of time on this. We talk as far as a game model, and we're trying to implement that through all the teams and the coaches, and trying to get them to understand exactly what a game model is, how to teach to that game model. It's really important that when you're doing anything, you have an idea of what you're trying to teach and how to get to that final product. And so the game model is something that's pretty simple for coaches. It should be pretty simple, but it just gives us an idea of what we're trying to do in the final third, the middle third, and the attacking third, and also in the defensive third, middle third, and defensive front of the game. And so we're going through that with the coaches. We're talking to them about it. We're trying to make sure that the things that they do in practice match the game models. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. One of my complaints about professional soccer now, if everybody's Man City fans, but soccer become very sterile and in some ways the professional game, in that it's beautiful to watch, but the pieces that we really like, what I really like, and I think a lot of coaches do, is giving the power to the players to be able to make some individual decisions and to be able to think for themselves a little bit. And so we're trying to work towards empowering the players to make mistakes, to take chances, to be brave, to be strong. And I think that kind of stuff's super important. So part of the game model is to defend with speed, decision making, thinking, and with strength, right? And communication. So those are some of the pieces in the game model. But attacking wise, it's about how do we get numbers up on the wings, or how do we attack in groups, small groups, but also when we're 1 versus 1, can we be brave and go at people? So those are just like small pieces, and there's big game models and then small little pieces to the game models. But those are the things that we're working towards with our staff. I hope to see over the course of this year that you'll all start to see those things start coming out in the training, as well as within the games that we're playing. So some of those teams have those things already starting to show up a bit, and some are having a more difficult time. Some of the things that we have to do better as a staff, and it's on my to-do list, and to keep pushing coaches, is touches per minute in training. A lot of our teams don't get very many touches per minute, and so asking the kids to be a little bit more technical, to do a little bit more technical work on there during training. And what I mean by touches per minute, if kids are touching the ball 3 or 4 times a minute, that's just not enough, right? We need to get into smaller groups. We need to train a little bit faster with a little bit more purpose. And so those are the kind of things that we're really looking for. We're a little bit slow and soft at times when we're playing against teams from outside our area. Our gold teams are getting better at that kind of stuff. The white teams we need to keep working with, but it'll make it more enjoyable for the players as well, because the practice will be moving and a little bit quicker. So those are the things that we're striving for, and we hope to see that changing for some of the teams, but also just getting better and faster as we go along. So the traveling that we've been doing with some of the teams has helped reinforce those messages to the players about thinking, decision making, being aware of things that happened before, training on their own. A lot of the players don't watch soccer, which is unfortunate, but also just watching and playing at a higher level just helps. So we're excited about the fact that we've been traveling quite a bit. So camps and clinics, we've been able to hire Marco Reyes, who's one of our coaches in our club, and he played at South Albany and Corbin University, and fantastic person as well as a coach, and so he's now our new director of programming. So we're growing as a club as far as how we're supporting the soccer side, but also supporting parents and kids. So Marco's in charge of the spring break camps and little pockets of camps, and we're going to get back into shooting. We did a shooting clinic in the fall. We're going to get back into shooting clinics and curver clinics, and curvers, dribbling, and technical stuff. So that's one of Marco's jobs, that he's going to be building those things out. So we'll give kids opportunities to get more time on the ball with instruction, try to keep the price reasonable, but really excited about that. Mark has done a great job. Our spring break camp, I think we had more kids than we've had in 4 or 5 years, and he was on it for only a couple weeks or a month or so. So we expect him to really grow that program quite a bit, which is exciting. Bryce, you have anything on that one at all?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, perfect. And then the other piece is been trying to squirrel away dollars and squirrel away things that we can make and implement programming. One of the things that we need to support more is our goalkeeping. Our goalkeeping is a really important piece, and we want to encourage more players to be goalkeepers. There aren't enough. If you talk to the high school coaches all over the valley, they're like, we need more goalkeepers. So we want to do a better job at educating, encouraging, and providing more training for them, not just on a Friday night, but I'm talking about during the week. So we've set aside some more money to hire a goalkeeper coach that's going to be in charge of goalkeeping support and being out at sessions, so that we can pull those six teams that are in the player pull their goalkeepers together, do some 30 to 40 minutes of technical training, making sure that people actually know how to catch a ball correctly. I know that sounds awful, but that's true. Footwork, how to move their foot, how to catch and bring it into their body, goal kicks, how to win high balls, deal with corner kicks, all those things that we need to talk about. So I'm really excited about this. We also had a club member that purchased his own jugs machine, and we were able to buy it. Those that don't know what a jug machine, it's one of these things that has these wheels that turning around, and you put a ball in and it shoots it out at different paces, angles, speed, and also with bending. So that'll be a tool that we can use a lot with the goalkeepers, but we can also use with our striker classes and other things. So really excited about that. And so you should see that rolling out in the next couple of weeks, but definitely next year we're going to have a pretty strong, solid, not just support system, but curriculum and what levels the goalkeeper should be at and training to those levels. So pretty excited about that. The other piece that we've been really fortunate to have is having Ernesto Aguilar doing the VEO for the last couple of years. And we're starting to get traction from the kids that are playing. We're starting to get traction from the coaches that are using it. And we had an opportunity to purchase 4 new VEO cameras. And these VEO cameras, we can actually have live games on them. We can do a lot better job of diving into the data with the VEO. And so pretty excited about that. More importantly, we're asking Ernesto to spend at least, we have a lot of teams, 27 teams, but we're asking him once every season to have a video session with each team to make sure he's always available for coaches with questions about how to operate the system, how to dive into the data, how to draw stuff out that they want to draw out of the data and share with their kids. We're also going to encourage the coaches to actually do more video sessions if they think that's necessary. Getting a 9-year-old to watch video for more than 10 minutes might be a little rough, but it might be, it's always fun watching yourself play and then being able to talk about it. So the more we can do that, encourage the players to watch their own sessions. So these will be available to everybody to be able to watch it at your house and all those things. So like I said, we have 4 cameras, so we should be able to get a lot of our games that we play for every team, which is pretty exciting. So we'll be able to take these to tournaments and other things as well. And Ernesto, for those that don't know, he does have an analytic. He's gone through the coursework for that, so he's really, really good at this stuff. The other real interesting thing to me is tasked Ernesto with the high school players is to work with families that are interested in building a video log of their players so that they can send it off to colleges and help them start on that piece. We've done an okay job when we've been asked by players, but we want to start being a little bit more aggressive about going after players and saying, hey, are you interested? If you are, here's some support with the video. And then Chris and myself and the girls director that we're looking at getting them involved with helping support that piece as far as getting out to college coaches and helping the players develop their own resumes and stuff. So pretty exciting about that. Did I miss anything on that, Bryce, at all?
No.
Okay, perfect. So I kind of brushed on tournaments. The teams that did go to Vegas, I think had a really good time. It was expensive to get there, but we really felt like the teams that went there had a really good time, and we're looking to get teams back to that tournament. We're also going to continually with the Navy teams go to Pac Northwest, which is in the January timeframe, and we're looking at the possibility of going down to San Jose in June of the following year. The most important thing that I want to get across to people is we're not in the business of telling teams they can or can't do things. We've been in the past very restrictive about we're going to allow players or teams to do these one things or this one tournament, but there are going to be teams that want more, and if they want more and they can do that, then we want to be able to encourage that. We also are aware that there's a money situation, and we want to be able to help players that can't afford to go to tournaments. But but we also don't want to restrict teams and players for doing more if they want to. We'll try to make sure we keep it balanced. We don't want to go into 6 or 7 tournaments, but we want to have a focus of what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it. But the tournaments this year have gone very well. So pretty excited about that. Anything else on that, Bryson, I'm missing?
Nope.
Yeah. So we're still continuing to look at things. We're not going to Alliance Cup this year because some of those teams have pulled some of their teams out of OSA, and so we're making decisions based on supporting clubs that we're playing with and being part of, at least in state. So that's why we're looking at the Mount Hood tournament, which is a good tournament for us. And then I think I talked about all those things that the anticipated tournaments for 2025, 2026. Any questions around that part? Okay. Next, Bryce. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that might be your last slide, Blake.
I think it is.
I think. Yeah. So, thank you for the review. Barring any questions for Blake, we'll transition over to Bryce to walk us through the kind of operations report.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Blake. Can everybody hear me okay?
I can. That's
Okay.
all that matters.
Okay, well, I have a couple things that I want to hit, and we've prepared some information for everybody. First thing I want to talk about is a little bit about our staff, the structure we have, and do some brief introductions. I wish we had all of our staff in person, well, here in the meeting with us, but most of our staff are, as Blake pointed out earlier, they're off coaching right now. So Blake and I will have to hold down the introductions, and we're going to use the webpage that we've got built for all of our staffing information to introduce you guys to the staff a little bit and show you, tell you a little bit about them. So we all know Blake. We just heard from Blake. Right now he's serving as our director of coaching and our U15 to U19 girls technical director. So doing both of those roles, Blake's been serving the club in the last year in a really great capacity, and we're really lucky to have him. So I'm going to just be very brief on the staff introductions because I don't want to take up too much time. But if you want to learn a little bit more about all of our staff members, come to our website, About Us. There's a staff page, and you can read little bios about everyone. And if you have questions or anything related to about specific responsibilities they may be overseeing, you can always come to their email underneath their name, and you can send them an email. So Blake is serving as our director of coaching, as I said. My name is Bryce Burton. I'm serving as the director of operations for the club. Chris Paradis is our boys technical director, and next we have Jess Causet. She is serving as our U10 pre-competitive director and our U11 to U14 girls director. So both her and Blake are serving as girls technical directors. So just find the right technical director for the question that you might have and reach out to them. U11 to U14 is going to be our 10 to 13-year-olds, and then 14 on up is going to be Blake. As we talked about earlier, Marco Reyes has been brought on as our new director of programming, and he also serves as our manager of club services. So he'll do anything from camps and clinics to also he helps me with some administrative items such as inventory, field maintenance, lost and found. So those kinds of things you can reach out to me or Marco about, but Marco's going to be the one who's really lucky, really excited to have him come on and be taking those things on. Next, we have our goalkeeping coordinator, Roberto Arteaga, and he, again, is not on because he's coaching right now, but he's the one running all of our Friday goalkeeping sessions. So if you want to get involved with those sessions or you have questions about goalkeeping, reach out to Roberto. Got his email here, or you can shoot him a message on the Stack Team app. Ernesto Aguilar, as we brought up earlier, is our Director of Analysis and Development. He's going to be our VEO coordinator. Anything video-related analysis for those videos or putting together the items for college prep, he'd be a good person to reach out to get some information from, some feedback on, or to get a little bit more information on the VEO offerings that the club has. And then our last staff member is Salvador Maciel. He is our top soccer director. Top soccer is a really cool, really special program that we are partnering with Oregon Youth Soccer to run here in Albany and Corvallis. It is a program designed for inclusive and adapted soccer. So he gets to run that program with kids that have intellectual or physical disabilities that still want to play in soccer. So it's a really cool program. It's free for these kids, and Salvador is the one who runs that program. So if you're interested in getting kids involved or getting involved yourself, definitely reach out to Salvador about Top Soccer. Brief introduction about all of our staff. So we'll jump now back over to the slideshow so I can continue with the operations update. The next thing I want to touch base on real quick is we've added a new field to our venue of offerings this year. It's going to be Ashbrook Independent School in Corvallis. We're looking to partner with them to revamp the big grass field that they have in the back of their facility. It previously was used by Corvallis Soccer Club and hasn't been used in a couple of years, and so we're really excited about this opportunity to get in there to help them revamp the grass back there, and then to use this hopefully as a year-round consistent location for our training. Light is going to be a factor as there's no lights on the fields, and water will be a partial factor, but the Ashbrook field is an elevated field with really great drainage, so hopefully that means that we can get on the field sooner and stay on the field later than we would at Crystal Lake. Just during the year, get on earlier and get on and stay on later. But again, lighting as we get into the fall is going to become an issue with actually starting in Ashbrook. So we've started some training sessions at Ashbrook, but not on the field that we're going to be renovating. The plan right now is we're going to wait till school's done. There's a big field day that Ashbrook has, and we've agreed that it's in the best interest of both groups not to rip up the whole field before they have their big end of year event. So once the school year is out, we're going to be partnering with hopefully some people in the club and in the community to revamp that grass field. We have a 5-step plan right now, looking to find some people to help us accomplish that plan, but we're going to be cutting down the field surface, leveling it out. We're going to be laying grass seed, some fertilizer, rolling, watering, and then maintaining that. The field surface itself is really level, but when you get up close, there's a lot of bumps and weeds and things that need to be just fixed. So we're really excited about the opportunity in June for us to start that process so we can have a really nice, really usable field by the time fall season starts, and then use that as spring training space, especially in the spring when we lose access to high school fields. This field's going to be really, really useful for us. So we're really excited about that opportunity, adding that venue. Jumping onto the calendar section, a couple quick things I want to hit, and then I'll go actually to the website and show you guys. But we have discontinued the previous Google Sheet that acted as our annual calendar, and we've now implemented a new embedded calendar on the website that is interactive, that can put multiple events on a day, and we're really excited to now announce that. It's been on the website for about a month now, but we're really excited to officially announce it and show you guys a little bit about it. And then when we hop over there's a whole page on the website dedicated to calendars. So I'll show you a little bit more where you can find seasonal calendar information for your age group that gives you a general breakdown of the year. So let's jump there now. So on the web page, there's a section called Club Calendars, and we've been able to build this embedded Google Calendar for you guys to use. This calendar will be constantly updated as we add events, as we add tournaments, as we add programs. Right now, you see there's a lot of orange events. These orange events are our programs. This is the things that Marco has started and is running. We have Top Soccer. We've got Coaches Meeting. We're really excited about this calendar because it's interactive. It allows you the opportunity to say, well, I just want to see what tournaments are going on. So you can deselect everything, and then you can jump month to month if you want. You can say, oh, is there anything in May or June, July? Maybe I haven't put the tournaments ones in there yet. That's a bad example. Let's look
There
more at
should
the
have been
programs.
something on May 17th, Bryce. There
I
should have been
know.
something on May 17th.
Well, maybe that's a club event. Let's see if that's a club event. May 17th. There we go. So we have our OVF Alliance 3v3 tournament showing up under the club event. So we're really excited about this calendar. Hopefully it provides you guys with the ability to now know further in advance what's going on, but then also read the calendar. Part of the problem with the previous one was you could only really display one event a day and make it visually understandable. So this hopefully is going to be really nice where you can see there's multiple things going on in each day. You can register directly from events that we've got posted. Some of these items on here provide you information about, say, information about the board meetings or form about attending. You want to know more about let's see, Top Soccer. Where'd Top Soccer go? This month. You want to know more about Top Soccer? Here it is. So we're really excited about this calendar, and we would be super open to feedback, additions, anything that we can add. But this is here for you guys, and we're really excited to bring that to you. If you scroll down, we have links to documents that are also being updated as things change that will provide you general seasonal overviews for your group. So if we look at the U15 to U19 seasonal calendar, it'll open up a document for you to get a taste of what to expect. May, we'll have tryouts and the team formation meeting. And in June, there'll be training and a potential summer tournament. We'll be off most of the summer for high school training because U15 to U19 is the high school age group. We have a general time of when to expect to come back to training, all kinds of things. So if you want to know just generally what the season looks like, I'd really encourage you guys to all look at these seasonal calendars. And if you want specific dates, I'd look at this calendar. The annual calendar has the specific dates year to year. And we're always constantly updating this. So if you don't see the information you're looking for now, just wait a little bit and hopefully that information will be up there soon. And then if there's information that is missing or that you feel like is going to be really useful for us to put in there, reach out, let me know. I'm always looking to make sure that this is as up to date so it services you guys as best as possible. But really excited about all these calendar options. And hopefully this is a good asset, good tool for you guys. Before I move on, are there any questions we have about the staff, structure, the fields update, or calendars?
We do have a question that's a little bit about calendars, a little bit about summer tournaments for this year. Blake, I think you said maybe Mount Hood, but the latest communication from Chris called out a couple different ones. And I don't know, I haven't seen anyone put in the chat yet if something's different's been told to the girls. So can one of you either clarify now or follow up in an email later with this summer's tournament plan? You're muted, Blake. I see you talking, but you're muted.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we can follow up with an email. Is there a specific age group or that we're having issues with, or just in general? You can send out general information to the whole group. Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll jump on to the next part. This is kind of a little overview of what's to expect for each group for the 25-26 season. Let's start over here on the left with the developmental program, our U10, U9 program. It'll be much the same as the last year where we're going to have 2 trainings a week during the season. We'll have some summer training. We'll have a fall season and fall training and spring season and spring training. And in the fall and the spring seasons, we're going to be participating in the Valley Academy League where we'll get 4 to 5 play dates. We just had a play date actually that OVF hosts. We just had that on Saturday at the YMCA. We used both fields, probably 400, 500, 600 people on site all day. It was wild. It was a great day. But those are the kinds of play dates that we have looking forward to in the fall and the spring. And we're also looking at adding summer tournament options for this group. More information will come out later as Just Cause has an opportunity to really dial in what those opportunities look like. But that's generally what to expect with the developmental program is when we're in season, 2 trainings a week, and in the fall and spring will be our main seasons where we'll have those 4 game days participating in the Valley Academy League. Let's look at next the competitive program, our U11 to U19 teams. And it says white teams, but it'll also apply to any burgundy teams as well. The white burgundy experience. We're going to be training 2 days a week. We're going to be training in the summer, fall. We'll be training, and then that'll also be a season. And then we'll look to be doing our winter leading into the start of spring season for training and play. The summer and fall almost work together a little bit as our prep for the fall and the fall season, and same with the winter where we have prep for the spring season or winter if you're on the older group. Then it's all prep and then the season starts. So 2 main seasons with the summer and the winter being supplemental. We really want to send every team possible to a summer tournament. So we're working really hard to get that information out. Like Blake said, we'll follow up on an email and re-clarify and provide all the information about summer tournaments for this coming year. But that's our goal, is to get every team we can to a summer tournament. These teams, the white and burgundy teams, will typically, as Blake brought up earlier, will play in the Central Valley region. We're really lucky to have an opportunity to not need to travel all across the state, but then also always up to Portland to play our games and to get some good competition. And so the Central Valley region that we participate in, we're looking to have most of our white and burgundy teams in this group, but if there's white teams that are ready to take that level into the Premier Silver, then we'll be looking to provide that opportunity as well. And then as part of this experience, the Founders Cup is something that we would like to start having our white and our burgundy teams attend. Founders or President's Cup, depending on preference, time of year. Sometimes, depending on the age group, the Founders Cup and the President's Cup happen at different times. So we will need to adjust based on which team. But our goal is to make the Founders or the President's Cup the primary OYSA Cups that the U11, U19 white and burgundy teams attend. So the summer tournament and then the Founders or President's Cup being those 2 that each team will have included in their experience. And then now if we jump to the U11 to U19 Navy teams, we are looking to bump our training. We've been looking at 2 to 3 days a week this last year, and the staff have been talking about adding an additional training day to the schedule. Typically we train Tuesdays to Thursdays, but we're looking at some adjustments to what we have available on the fields, what fields we have available, and how we can get our program, our Navy teams training closer to that 3 days a week. And some things that may be included in could be things, having a video session for our 3rd day a week or doing a fitness session for the 3rd day a week. So we're looking at a lot of different solutions to help provide Navy teams that promised 3 day a week training model based on time of year, based on periodization. We want to make sure that we're not wearing these kids out, but we're also, in the times that we can do 3 days a week, using those 3 days a week effectively. So 2 to 3 days a week based on the year, based on field space, coaching availability, lots of things that go into it. But that Navy program would be getting more training sessions. And then the summer, fall, winter, spring split looks very similar for the Navy teams, and the summer tournament, so I don't want to jump into that too much. We want to push our Navy teams to be participating in premier divisions, which means statewide travel and participating a lot more with Portland's teams. So that's going to be higher level of competition. It's going to take a little higher level of dedication from players and parents. And so we're really excited that some of our teams have done so well this year that we've been able to move them up from Premier Silver to a Premier Gold, or from a Division 1 to a Premier Silver. So we're going to keep that trend going, and we're really excited to be providing that opportunity for Navy teams. And then the tournament for our Navy teams is going to be the OISA State Cup. We want to send all of our Navy teams to the State Cup. And if circumstances change based on team dynamic and availability, we may look at President's Cup as an option for these teams. But State Cup is our primary objective to have these Navy teams participate in. And then on top of the Summer in the OISA Cup, we want to provide these teams, these programs, additional opportunities to travel. These will come at an additional cost like we've done in the last year, but these travel tournament options we want to provide as a way to get more competition, to expose top-end players and teams to the competition that is out there in the wider world. Things to expect, exposure to college coaches. These things are things we're really going to push our Navy teams to do. That's not to say that these things aren't available to White or Burgundy teams, but the Navy teams are going to be getting the push from the staff to make that a priority and make that a focus during the year. Was that accurate, Blake? Did I hit it, all of that, or do we need to hit anything else extra?
No, you did a good job, Bryce. Yep.
Okay. Are there any questions about what this general structure and the general calendar looks like for the year? Okay.
We're good, Bryce.
Sweet.
Keep going.
I'm going to keep going then, yeah. This is something that Jason and I have worked on, is we really want to talk about fees. Questions about fees have come up every once in a while, and especially in years when fees change, we want to talk a little bit about fees. But Jason did a really good job preparing a lot of this information, so we'd like to thank Jason for his work on this. And also Rachel LaSalle did a lot of work on this as well in helping prepare this information that I'm going to provide. But I want to talk a little bit about how much you really pay for club soccer with OVF Alliance. On average right now, on our U11 to U19 program, people pay about $1,200 a year to get an experience with OVF Alliance. What you get in this experience is about 200 hours of OVF a year, and that's based on 3 hours of practice, regular season games and tournaments. If you're a Navy team, and you're getting more hours because you're training more and potentially have those travel tournament experiences. So we're basing this on the low end. And on the low end of the hours, we have estimated that you pay about $6 an hour to get a club soccer experience, which $6 an hour, I don't know, Blake, how does that equate to times in the past, hours and prices, and what we have in our competition?
Yeah, it's low, I mean, and it's appropriate for our area, and yeah, so it's I think we do a good job of trying to keep the costs down, and things, as we all know, are continuing to go up. So we're trying to be aware of that too. Coaches having to drive to Portland or to games and stuff costs a fair amount of money for them. So we're trying to support them as well. But yeah, these fees are relatively low. Yeah.
Yeah, and our aim is to keep them relatively low. I mean, They include things, as you can see right here, they include things such as paying our coaches, field rentals, the light usage, getting players cleared and insured with OISA, paying for leagues.
Go to the next slide.
Here we go. This is what your fees cover. See? Jason the rescue. Here we go. So this is a breakdown of what your fees cover. So we're really excited to continue to keep our fees as low as possible while also still trying to provide you this great experience. They go to a lot of different things. As you can see, the coaching pays a big chunk. The state and league fees, you can see those fees right here, take up another significant chunk. There's a lot that goes into providing soccer for our players, but if we can keep the costs as low as possible, we're trying to always make sure that we have the best equipment, the best fields, the best coaches, while also trying to make sure that it doesn't cost you guys too much. But as you can see, there's a big breakdown here not breakdown. This is a good breakdown, but this is a big chunk between coaching pay and state and league fees, and that's what makes up the majority of what you pay for, with some of these other items supplemented in there. This is a more in-depth breakdown with some numbers attached to them that Rachel LaSalle helped us prepare, in addition to also the breakdown of pricing for the year. So this model helps us understand that based on the team, the coach you have, the age group you're in, fees will vary. Fees will vary at the league level. Fees will vary depending on what tournament you attend, what OISA tournament you sign up for. There's variability, but that variability does introduce a little element of okay, we need to make sure that we're balancing and providing a fair experience for pricing. So if you look here, it costs our players, oops, I did not want to do that yet. It costs anywhere from $1,300 to $1,640 to have a player play with OVF Alliance. And this last year, our average fee price was $1,200. So we're still even below the mark of what a break-even fee looks like. So we want to continue to provide you the best soccer possible, but we'd also need to be vocal about there are changes that come, and as changes come, fees will inevitably increase or adjust based on need, based on what a YSA chooses to do, based on the fees at tournaments. So there's lots that go into this breakdown. We're really grateful for Jason and Rachel providing it. So if you have any questions, you can always review this. This is available on the website to review at any time. And also this breakdown at the top here, we'll look a little bit more at that in a second. But are there any questions so far about the fee breakdown or where your club fees go?
Loretta, do you want to, you're muted. Still muted. I can see you now, but you're still muted. We can't, okay. You want to feel free to shoot Blake or I an email, Bryce or I an email. We can get you the information. Okay, thanks. Appreciate you joining from probably the parking lot of a soccer practice.
Okay, is there no other questions on this one?
Wait, are you trying *6? Okay, nope. Go ahead, move on.
Okay, so we have now the proposed fee structure for the 25-26 season that we wanted to provide you guys. So there is the ever-growing need for us to adjust what our fees look like based on, as we talked about, the variability and the demands of the expenses that we incur to provide you this experience. So our fees this next year, the U10 program is going to be staying at $875. That's not what I wanted. $875. And we're going to be adjusting the Navy and the White team prices. So the Navy team price is going to rise $150 to $1,400 for the year for both our U11 to U14 age groups and our U15 to U19 age groups. We're going to see a little bit of change is in the U11 to U14 white and burgundy teams and our U15 to U19 white and burgundy teams. With the changing in the high school season, we're going to be changing a little bit, but because we want to make sure that this experience is feasible for some of our high school students and for some of our we want to foster growth from our high school programs. We want to make sure that those kids that are on scholarships can use the scholarships as effectively as possible. And since they get one less season than the U11 to U14 teams, while still being more expensive to run, the U15 to U19 teams are more expensive to run. They get one less season than the U11 to U14 teams. And so we've decided to lower the price for our white and burgundy teams at the high school age group to $1,000. And the price only rises $50 for our white and burgundy teams at the U11 to U14 teams. So there's an overall price increase for most of our programs, with the U10 staying the same and the U15 U19 facing an adjustment just based on how much soccer we provide them, but then also making sure that we can still provide them with the best experience possible. This is a new addition this year, the U15 or 8th grader fee. If you have a player who's going to be participating in the fall season, who's a U15 player, but they're participating in the fall season because they're in 8th grade, we're going to ask that they pay an additional fee. The reason is we haven't charged a fee for this group in the past, and it's ended up costing the club several $1,000s just to field a team for the season. This coming year is going to be the last year that this group is affected, hopefully for a long time. But with the decision that U.S. soccer has made to move away from birth years, but to allow the states to decide for themselves, OISA has decided to move back to the school year model. And with moving back to the school year model, this U15 group on an annual basis will no longer face a 8th grade and freshman and high school split. So that way the 8th graders won't just get cobbled together to make a team, and the high schoolers will show back up when high school season's done. So this will be the last year this is effective, and it'll affect our 2011 age group, both boys and girls. So if there's a team that we make of 8th graders at the U15 level, they're going to have an additional $300 fee in order to just cover the cost of that season, that extra season that they're going to be getting. Just it's expensive to run, and to make sure that we can pay a coach and we can rent some field space for that group, we're just going to be charging a small little fee to make sure that that's a company that is accounted for. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So this is the breakdown of the new fees. Are there any questions about the new fee structure?
There was one question about the 8th grade price, but I answered it in the chat. There's another question about school year model change for OVF. Yeah, next year. So this May, the tryouts that we're going to have in just a couple weeks will be based on birth year. The school year calendar change will go into effect in May of 26, is what we are currently being told by the state governing body.
Yes.
All right, Bryce, I think that was your last slide as well.
That was.
Appreciate you walking us through that. We'll take a short pause to see if anybody has any questions for us. Bryce, you've raised your hand. Would you like to ask a question?
I was trying to click the share button and I hit the wrong one.
All right, well,
hey, Jason, sorry. Just I was running around trying to get Dom to practice.
No way.
So the scheduling piece, I missed a little chunk of it. So I see we're per that email, we're going to the Surf Cup, right, in May. But did I hear you guys say that we'll also add a summer? You want to see teams go to a summer tournament as well, or are we counting that as a summer tournament?
What are you talking about, the 2013s, Sal?
Yes.
Yeah. So Chris isn't here. I think generally that group would play a summer tournament, but we're really trying to turn it over to the teams a little bit, because I won't go on for too long, but last year we had a lot of combined teams, with through age groups and all that, just to get teams together. And so our hope is that we try to keep the teams together as much as possible, so that we can have a good experience. So I'm not sure what your group has decided. I know we've been putting out feelers to each team to find out and kind of polled the parents. So,
yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly what that polling is, and you could probably reach out to Marco or Chris, or I can certainly do that too. But they'll have the polling,
perfect.
And that stuff should be getting distributed relatively quickly. I don't know exactly when the deadline was, but I know we're working on that stuff so that we can get it out to you guys as soon as possible. Just so you guys know, we know we're late on this. Our hope is when we get our parent meeting, we're gonna stick out all next year's tournaments. We'll try to make these decisions, by October, November. The high school kids will hope to get this done in the summer meeting, so we know what we're doing for next year. And we can always add a tournament if teams want to, because they're encouraged or whatever. That's not a problem, but we want to make sure we have it out far enough in advance that people can plan their summers, and other trips. So, yeah. So
awesome.
We'll get that out to you quickly.
Thank you for that, and thank you guys for the meeting.
Yep, you bet.
All right, so as we wrap up, I just wanted to remind everyone we got tryouts coming up May 5th through 14th, depending on your birth year. So please get online and register for those for the next season. I also made Bryce, I put in a shameless plug for our 3v3 tournament on Saturday, May 17th. Hopefully you've seen some information about that. And we've also asked coaches to kind of help spread the word and maybe facilitate some team formation from the existing teams. So that's Saturday, May 17th at the Y. Really grateful to have new board members join us, and just wanted to remind people that we still have open board positions. So if that's something you're interested in, there's a link on the website where you can tell us a little about yourself and share your interest. And our club is always looking to expand our community of coaches. So if you're interested in getting involved in coaching, whether you're new to soccer or new to coaching, or you've been doing it as long as Blake has, we'd love to have you be part of our community. So check out the link online for job opportunities as well. And I believe with that, I'm done with my shameless plugs, and I want to thank you guys all for giving us some of your time this evening. Blake and Bryce, want to thank you for walking us through those updates. Hope everyone has a great Monday night, and I look forward to seeing you on the pitch soon.
Thanks, Jason, for hosting.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.